What really upset me was my 10-year-old grandson. He came to me and says, "Grandpa," he says, "why doesn't Grandma speak to me?"
So we've been doing these Reminiscence Sessions at United for quite a while now, principally created for our older fans, especially those who are suffering from memory loss or loneliness. We have some members of the group who live with or have been affected by dementia. Hopefully in some small way these sessions can help people reconnect with those great memories and make new friends along the way.
I would say it was the 1957 Cup final that got me started.
I can remember the war days. My dad was in the army. When he came home after the war, he started talking about football, and I found out he was a real Manchester United fan, as his dad was.
At Manchester United, we've got a responsibility. When you've got friends who go to football, you all support the same team, it always feels comfortable when you're together, whether you're reminiscing about a great game, a great goal, or that experience you had. But of course, as people get older, it's more important to share those memories and to keep those friendships alive. And if anybody is feeling a little bit lonely or left out because of whatever reason, once they're in the room and they're all talking together, they'll just forget about that. And you can see people with smiles on their faces, irrespective of what memory they're discussing. And you can see how happy people are. When you get together with friends and you've got shared interests, and football is such a, it's such a social thing, brings people together. The conversation, the stories, the memories, and there's a lot of humour as well. We mustn't forget that.
Funny how I met my wife. Me being such a romantic, I bought a box of milk tray and a couple of roses. I said, "Is there any chance of a date?" She says, "Yeah, go on then." So
Chocolates run her over.
you run her over. What really upset me was my 10-year-old grandson. He came to me and says, "Grandpa," he says, "why doesn't Grandma speak to me?" And I think it was an 12:30 kick-off. And when 7 o'clock come, I thought, well, I'll get Palmer tea and then get to bed. I couldn't wake her up. And I'll never forget it. This lady doctor came and she says, "I'm sorry," she said, "Mr. Gardner," she says, "your wife's on her last legs." We used to stay till 11 o'clock when the night staff came on. And I'm sat there and I'm holding her hand and she starts squeezing my hand. She said, "Derek, thank you, I love you." That's the first time she spoke, and the first time she'd recognised me for a couple of years. And I thought, I was godsmacked. Anyway, she died next day. But I was glad that she recognised me at the end.
My daughter actually, there was an organisation called Sporting Memories, which she actually told me about quite some time ago. So when the one came up at Manchester United, I knew the situation would probably maybe suit me even better because of the memories that I have of United.
I can remember things in the 50s. Sometimes I can't remember things 4 weeks ago. If someone said name a team 6 weeks ago, what? But I name a team in the 60s, the 50s, Yeah. And that is why United always finish at the top.
Love that, mate, love that.
Same. Now, if some people were maybe lacking a little bit on that side and didn't have the memory, the fact that I would be able to maybe help them out with my own memory of that, it meant a lot to me. That's the first day Duncan Edwards ever played a game at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I think it's gathering momentum, and it's certainly winning over a lot of people who didn't realise, what great things you could do by just getting a bunch of fans together to talk about United.
Sean, I could see that the knowledge he had was great. He started watching United in the early 60s, and he became a good friend. And I was poorly when I first started going there, and I was bedridden for a few days. Sean was one of the first people to come to visit me.
Me and Derek can talk all day from 1966. When I hear Derek talking about the Busby Babes and being on the bus, going to the match, and one of the players sat beside him, Henry Coburn or something, with his boots wrapped up in a brown parcel. I mean, it's just amazing that the hair stand the back of your neck.
It made me a picture of the team, my first game, 1946, and I've got a big picture of it.
It's not just dementia, it's become much more than that. Some people come because they're feeling a little bit lonely, some people might be suffering from memory loss, but once we're all together and we're talking about Manchester United, it feels like a little social club. It's a great atmosphere and the stories are fantastic.